quiet need, my son candlelight. I know the rest of it, but
Oh, babe.
hello, I'm Charles Halbert, and this is my lovely wife, Lily Holton Halbert. The occasion is we have been married for 40 wonderful years, and we want to share and celebrate this occasion really with the whole world.
When we were thinking about this occasion, we thought about how can we share with how much this means to us. And originally, Charles had said he wanted to give me a big celebration to celebrate my 60th birthday, which just passed on April 3rd. So I said, well, that's nice, and I'm excited about turning 60. But I'm more excited about the 40 years that we're gonna that we've shared together and have spent. So then we decided to say 60-40, celebrate the 60th birthday and then 40 years of being married. And that's how we came up with the theme. Celebration of love, 60-40, 99 and a half won't do. My mother actually, when I was telling her about it, she said 60-40, wow, 99 and a half won't do. And this is history in the making. We would never be at this point in our life ever again. And that's why it's so symbolic to us. When you think about marriage, most people think about their relationship within themselves. And the husband, the wife, love one another, and you want to spend the rest of your life together. But it's so much deeper and profound than that, than what God has ordained in our lives. It's more about relationships. Number one, your relationship with yourself and with God, then with each other. But then all of a sudden you have family, you have friends. All of that plays a very important role. And how could we celebrate our 40th anniversary with our family and friends?
We haven't had a perfect marriage, but what we have had is a perfect relationship. Because anytime there's any disagreement, we always look to Christ. We were saying, what would Jesus do before they came out with the bracelets? Because we know that as we come together toward Christ, we grow closer together, and God is pleased with it.
I wanted a God-fearing man because I looked at my dad and that's what I saw in him. I wanted someone that was going to care for me and provide for me and would love me for me, not try to make me over. Of course, I threw in some other attributes, tall, dark, and handsome. I threw that in there. And I just happened to get it all. And all of a sudden I looked from a distance, and all the way from way in the distance, I see Charles. That time I didn't know him, I'd never seen him before, didn't know who he was. He had on a pair of brown jeans and a white shirt. I remember exactly what he was wearing. And he was literally pushing this cart of some dirty laundry. Was it laundry?
Yes. Yes, it was.
So I see it, and I see him, and all of a sudden it's like, this feeling came over me, that's your husband. And I nudged my girlfriend. I said, you see that guy? We waved, hi, and he ignored us. Probably said, who are the crazy ladies here? And she said, yeah, I see him. I said, that's gonna be my husband. And she said, how in the world can you say that's gonna be your husband? Do you know him? Do you know his name? I didn't know anything about him, but my spirit, what God placed in me, I knew that was my husband.
After the fact, we went on our first date, and I left her apartment. Well, before I left her apartment, we were sitting on the couch, and I said, I'm going to marry you.
I'm trying to figure out, how did he know that?
And I left, I walked out into the hallway, and I said, self, why did you say that? And to this day, I don't know why I said it, because I wasn't thinking about marriage. I was just thinking about finishing my last year of college and passing economics, which I had just changed my major to. at our wedding, we were married in Willie's parents' home. And so, and her father officiated the ceremony. So there we are, getting married. So Willie's father's a minister, and just so happens my father's a minister. My best man is my cousin, and his father's a minister. Willie's maid of honor is her sister, so her father's a minister. And then it really gets serendipity. Because my mother's first name is Mary. Willie's mother's first name is Mary. I'm marrying Willie, and she's going to become Willie Halbert. My father's first name is Willie, spelled the same way. My mother, her maiden name was Ellison, and
my mother's maiden name is Ellis.
So God, He had placed all these things together, and put everything in order to let us know that He was in the plan. We had sickness in the family, and God was glorified even through that. We had a transition of a child, and even in that, God is glorified. Even up until the time when Liz became ill again and was in the hospital for 5 or 6 months. Even through that, God got the glory, and it was the best relationship that we've had is with Christ.
That God allowed us to work with and to help and to inspire, and to this very day they're still in our lives. And even when Liz passed away and we came back home, one of the ladies, Miss Versi we call her, she called me up and she said, well, when's the ceremony? We told her, she said, well, I'm gonna come and stay a while if you don't mind. I said, no, I don't mind. She came approximately, I would say, a week prior to, and she stayed a month in our home. And she cooked,
she took care of everything.
Cleaned, she took care of Calissa, our younger daughter, and all we had to do was just rest in God. And that's really what life is about, is truly trusting in God. Because I know she was an angel. She was not, there's no way in the world that we could have survived without God protecting and guiding us. I remember one year we were sitting and we were talking about every year I was like asked, what's your dreams? What's your vision in life? And I don't want to take for granted that I know everything that he wants, or he knows everything that I want. Sometimes you need to just ask that person, what is your ambition? What's your desire? Because to me, my job as his wife is to help make those things come to pass. And we was talking about world peace. He said, you know something I've always wanted? I said, what's that? He said, I've always wanted a Mercedes. I said, really? He said, yeah, from a kid.
That was my dream car.
That was his dream car.
But I'd always followed it up with, but I'll never have one.
So when I heard him say that, I went on bended knee that night and said, God, he should be able to have whatever his heart desires. And if you can arrange things where we can do this, come on, let me have that car. So sure enough, I started calling our banks and everybody and rearranging, and went to the Mercedes place. I want a brand new, I don't want to use, I want a brand new Mercedes, black on black in black. I wanted no miles on there, and he worked everything out. He said, well, you can do this, and wow, you only have to pay this. I'm like, man, it can happen. So I actually sold his car. He had a, what was that, Lincoln? A Chrysler. He had a Chrysler 300. And sold his car up under him while he's driving. He don't even know it. And told the guy, I want the car delivered to our church. And that Sunday, we had the car there. The guy came and took the Chrysler, gave me the keys. I went out to a service, got the keys, came back in, and Reverend McSwain knew about it. And he had Deacon Thornton pull, or was it Fee?
Deacon Moore.
Deacon Moore pull him out, take him in the back, and talk to him. And that's when Rev announced to the whole church that Willie just bought Charles a car. And when he said Mercedes, everybody hopped up real quick. And he said, no, be calm. He don't know anything about it. So when he dismissed church, Charles comes back in. He said, why are all these folks still hanging around? Don't they know how to go home?
People don't know how to go home.
So we go outside, everybody shaking his hand.
Everybody shaking their hand. One of the mothers going, that's a hand right back at you. I didn't know.
He didn't know
so
anything.
I go looking where I parked my car, the Chrysler. It's not there. And I'm thinking, somebody done stole my car. I'm going back in here and call the police. Stole it from the church. So I'm walking back in, and then Willie says, no, honey.
See that there?
Yeah, that's yours. And I said, praise the Lord.
You said, God is good.
God is good. Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with the car, really. It had nothing to do with how much the value of it was. It was my baby. Or I say, my baby. It was my baby desire to have it. I thought about how he had provided for our family. He has paid all the bills. We've never had anything late. I mean, he has taken care and provided. He's provided love and shelter and just constantly through life's journey has always been there. So the one thing that he said he wanted, I wanted to make sure if it was in God's will, that it would come to pass. And by September, it'd be paid in full now. It's the tender moments. It's the kindness. And even you get mad at each other, no, hold each other's hand, go for a walk. Just walk around the apartment if you have to. Or just
or go for a walk by yourself.
Yeah, that'll work too. You know.
Whatever works.
But know that you got each other back. Through thick and thin, I have never, in 40 years, I never wondered once if Charles loved me, or if he would care for me, or would he be there at my worst moment. He was there. At my very best, he was there. But that's the part that in the stillness of the night, when everybody's asleep, and I just walk around the house and pray and ask God's blessing, I'll look at him while he's sound asleep, and I just think to myself, God, I'm the luckiest woman in the whole wide world. Because one of the things he told me was that when we were going together, about ready to get married, he said, Willie, I want to give you the world. And I told him the other day, and I've been saying this over and over when people talk to me, he gave me something much more valuable than the world. And that was, he gave me his heart.